Okay, so far our plan is we've removed the 40 horse Johnson that you see right here, and we're going to be replacing it with the 35 Mercury. So this one's going to go back in this spot. So hopefully we're going to gain a little bit more horsepower. I mean, we're losing horsepower, but the 1966 horsepower of that day at a 40 horse is probably really only a 33 or 35 maybe. But this motor, the Mercury's got the tilt trim, so we're going to swap it out, and he'll at least upgrade with the tilt trim if he doesn't have any improvement on horsepower or speed. But time will tell. So anybody want to take any bets? Let's find out. What do you think? Do you think we're going to get more speed out of this boat than we with the 35 Merc, or would it be faster with the 40 horse Johnson? So interesting question. So we're going to play around and figure out what we're going to do and get this back on and hopefully get it out on the lake, and we'll give it a test drive. So stay tuned, and more to come, so you never know what's going to happen. Okay, before we take this out on the water, we've got the 35 horse mounted onto the boat, but we need to replace the water pump. So that's what we're going to do now. And there she is. Okay, I'm going to put it on the bench. Got it in the vise. I know you might yell at me for having it, on the jaws like that, but it needs to be painted anyway. So I figured, well, as long as it's in position and sturdy. But everything looks okay except one thing I've noticed. This, I have no idea what this is. And it doesn't even look like it belongs there because it doesn't fit. It doesn't reach the hole here. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to sit up inside the motor. I'll have to research that, but get my manual out and take a look. But what I'm after today is the pump impeller. And it doesn't look too bad. I mean, the fellow that owned this before me said that the pump impeller was done, but I just want to make sure. So I ordered one. I've got the parts. They're here. So I'm going to start taking this apart. So stay tuned. Okay, so I've got 3 bolts. This housing should come off. Exposing the pump. This is the water tube here. There's a rubber gasket on the top here. I'll probably have to reuse that. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty new. So there's one. By the way, this is a 1986 35 horse Mercury, and with the, of course, with the injection removed. Previously, I repaired the tilt trim motor and reinstalled that. I've already changed out the gear oil in this. So all I need to do is make sure this impeller is good, or at least exchanged and changed out, and it's ready for the lake. We'll do a lake test. There's the keyway, as you can see. That looks pretty good, actually. I don't see any scoring on the base plate, and the gasket looks good too. So this was done recently. There's some wear. Not much on the tips, but looks like you get ready to break off. Okay, this plastic piece was pretty straightforward. I just had to take a look at the other side of the unit, and basically it goes in here. Can't see here. The sun's in my eyes. Oh, right here, right in the front, just like that. So I just have to line up the shaft that's inside there. I don't know if you can see it. See that shaft that's in there? It's got to be lined up properly. Now, I got to put the phone down. Now you see that it's tucked away in there. So the shaft should just slide right in there. The shift shaft should slide right in there and keep that all centered. That's what that's for. So moving on. Okay, I don't know if you can see the top of that shaft. Probably not. But up there, those just slide right off. And they're just rubber. And of course this water seal slides right off. And then the pump housing comes off. And then of course the impeller. So you can see the impeller is the memory has set. I don't know if that'll straighten out, but there is some slight creasing on the inside, so those could break. So I'm going to replace that. The manual says to replace it every time you service it. So, but I'm not going to replace the gaskets or the plate down here. Even though I have the parts, I'm going to wait for the next time, because these gaskets almost look brand new, and so does the base plate. So even the cap in there looks really nice. I don't see anything worn out or any deep. Well, maybe there is some grooves in there. Yeah, maybe I will replace that. So I've got a new one. So it's called an insert. The part number is 48753. The new impeller is part number 47-89983T, if anybody's interested. So, but the base plate still seems pretty good. I don't see any deep scarring in that. And there she is. Okay. Well, as you can see, it did have a pretty cut ring in there, so I just wanted to make sure that was removed. But that don't look too bad. I think that seal's pretty new in there too. That's pretty good. So I'm going to leave that alone. Yeah, they put glue in there. I don't know why. No, maybe some adhesive, some rubber type silicone adhesive, but man, that was in there. That notch there is supposed to go into that notch here. So that's supposed to keep it from spinning, but I don't think there's a need to put sealer in there. Man, it's a pretty tight fit as it is. Okay, so I think we're in. Okay, put a little dab of grease on here just to get that lubricated a bit. And okay, a little grease around here. I put grease in here. My woodruff key. The notch goes all the way through on this, so it doesn't really matter which orientation it goes on. Okay. I'll put a little grease on this woodruff key. Big fat fingers of mine. locks that in pretty good. Okay. And this goes back on. Just like that. Now I've got to turn that clockwise as I'm pushing down so that it seats properly. There we go. Perfect. Three washers, three nuts. Honestly, that's good. As long as I can turn that, yep. It ain't easy, but I can turn it, so I'm good. Now, put a little grease on here. Okay. I grease the top of the drive shaft. Just don't want to, you want to make sure you don't get any on the top of the shaft again. That's important. The manual says that if you get any grease on there, it can actually throw off tolerances inside the unit, and it can damage the internal parts of the engine. So you want to make sure that's clean before it goes in. So okay, I think it's ready for insertion. Put the O-ring on, back on, and also these seals here, and the water tube. Thinking might have to put the water tube in first. Leave that in this way. Okay, well, I got her in. I'm holding it with these clamps, one on each side, as you can see. So, just got to put the bolts back in. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 on the other side. So that should be about it. Had to take off the cover, cowling, spin the flywheel a bit to get the drive shaft to line up. But once I did that, the water tube went in, everything seemed okay. So I'm going to put those bolts in and maybe we'll get it running. Water pumps in. I'm going to start it up. There's the switch. As soon as my son gets home, maybe we'll take it out in the water and complete this video. Give it a late